throughout the halls of a Four Seasons loft. In Austin, I saw and paused. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then a tin to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Though dice and woes of life, love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors a pit, quit, running from end to end. Craving and raining in grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. I'm your host, Matt Clark, and today it is a rainy, cold, not cold, it's not cold, it's cool, Wednesday. Sorry I missed you guys yesterday, but I had to get some stuff done. We have a big, huge tournament coming up this weekend, so I had some stuff that I had to get done yesterday. But we did have some good basketball last night. We had some controversial stuff last night in the NBA. We've got some controversial stuff in football again, which I know that the NFL is America, football is America's pastime favorite. It used to be baseball, now it's football. And I get all that, but this is basketball season. And yeah, the stuff about Shador, the stuff about the teams and all this, I get all of that, okay? I'm not totally against it. But it's the NBA playoffs. It's the NBA playoffs. And the fact that, there's this one little guy, and he's just, he reminds me of somebody, he's about clicks. And he's on this one particular show. I'm not going to say his name. And it just cracks me up because he's like, oh, I don't like the physical aspect of basketball. This is what the NBA is. This is what everybody wants to see now. This is why they changed it to where you can't be physical because you can't do this all year long. You can't be this physical basketball all year long. But in the playoffs, you're gone. So, yeah, it's more intense. You get the players more active. You get the players more into it mentally and physically. What's wrong with that? Well, you can't touch somebody. You can't this. That's right. He's a LeBron lover. He's a Luka lover. That's who this dude is. And he reminds me of this guy who's decent at basketball, but he's little, and he goes out there and he's constantly crying about fouls and this and that. He's a little punk. That's what he is. He's a little baby. That's what he is, okay? And that's what cracks me up about dudes like that. It's like, bro, if you're a real hooper and you're a real basketball player, you ain't mad about the contact. Why are you mad? Get in there and play. If you can play, you can play. Why are you mad about it? You don't see Steph crying about it. You don't see nobody crying. It's like, okay, we all understand it's the playoffs. It's going to be physical. We all get that. Why are you crying? Stuff like that. Little guys like that with a platform, shut your damn mouth up and, talk about something else. He gets on my nerves. But I'm not going to mention his name. And this thing about Tyrese Halliburton and his dad. I know really one NBA player's dad, and I'm going to give him some praise. That's Rayford Young, Trey Young's dad. He's the only, his family's the only family that I'm around that's in the league, so I can't really talk about other families because I don't know them, I don't see them, I don't talk to them, I don't know anything about them. But I see these dads like Halliburton's dad, like John Morant's dad, like what Dion did, like what Nico's dad did, Malala, the guy that was at Tennessee, is now at UCLA. Now his brother's there is with him as well. It's people like that. And like someone made the comment that sports parents now like pageant moms used to be, or like pageant moms are. That's what sports dads are now. They're pageant moms. And I know some pageant moms. I know several of them, and they are serious about their thing. Let's talk about Halliburton's dad. And what these guys have in common, all of them, And what Rayford Young does not have in common with these guys is simple. Halliburton's dad, John Moran's dad, all these guys are from Florida. Deion Sanders. You're not hiring an agent. In football, you need an agent. In basketball, you need an agent right at the beginning to kind of navigate through. But Deion was doing what he did. He made some huge mistakes, cost his son. Nico's dad cost him that. I mean, you're making $4 million a year, man. What are you complaining about? Oh, you want a what? You want what kind of car? This guy's making $10 million, so you're better than him. You should get that. Really? Carson Beck left Georgia because he needed to, because he knew he was not going to be. He was going to get supplanted. He knew that. That's why he left. He knew his time there was done. Yeah, someone gave him a bunch of money. Okay, that's it is what it is. But you are assuming that you are going to go to UCLA and do what you did for Josh Heupel. You know what Josh Heupel did for you? Josh Heupel is one of the brilliant young offensive coordinators / coaches in the NCAA. He's brilliant. And when you watched him play, he reminds me of Bill Self. And I talk about Bill Self all the time because Bill Self is one of these guys when he played, because Bill and I played together. Bill is one of these guys that he's always in the right place at the right time. That's why he and Randy Wright, I love playing with them on the court if I get with them all together one time, because of the simple fact that I knew where Randy was going to be. I knew where Bill was going to be. They knew where I was going to be. And then when Bill became a coach, guess what he did? His players play like him. They're very rarely ever out of place. They're usually always in the right place to make a play. Josh Heupel, that's how he is. And at the OU game, Tennessee OU, he could have ran up the score against OU last year if he'd have wanted to. But out of respect for his university that he brought a national championship to, he didn't. He could have run up the score. The game got close and they were bragging about that. No. He could have beat the brakes off them. And I guarantee you, if the former coach was there, he would have beat the brakes off them. I can promise you that. Because of what happened with his firing. I can promise you that. He would have beat the brakes off them. So, when I look at dads, and I look at this, and you look at the situation last night, to me, put the parents up in a suite. That way they're not on the floor. You don't have T. Moran's dad, doing pelvic thrust towards the crowd and all of this nonsense. But you have people like we have a guy at the Thunder game. Jennifer and I gripe about it all the time. He's an attention getter. Now he's moved from right off the back row to right. He's on the front on court side, so he can be a big time. Bro, it kills me. Once again, these are people who never were nothing, who all of a sudden want attention. And they got a little attention, like he turns around and he's waving at the fans. I'm like, sit down, dude. I don't give a shit about you. Sit your ass down. I ain't trying to look at you. Or I see you because you up turning, standing up, raising your hand with tattoos at work. Sit your ass down. I don't care about you. That's the difference. And when you look at what his dad did, and Giannis is just sitting there, and Giannis is in disbelief because they blew the lead that they had with 40 seconds left. What was the stat? 1,690 leading with 7 seconds with 4 seconds, 7 points with 40 seconds left or something like that. 1,690 first time ever a team lost. He was in complete disbelief. Complete disbelief that they lost. And I feel sorry for him because of the simple fact that you could just tell he was just, and Gary Trent Jr., I feel horrible for him. 2 critical plays. I mean, a ball's coming to you and it goes right between your hands, right between your legs out of bounds. Tyrese Halliburton capitalized on it, played great at the end, the most overrated NBA player, which I think is a joke. Now, a lot of these players are a little pissed off because he made the Olympic team. They didn't. Did he play a lot? No. But yet, that's why they're pissed off at him, because he got an opportunity. They did. Tyrese Halliburton could play. I like Tyrese Halliburton. I had him on my first team, my second team All-NBA. He can play. And it's stupid to say he can't. That's just idiotic. But for his dad to get back on my motion when I talk about that. Dads like this, you're down on the floor. Giannis is in this, I don't know what the hell kind of mentality he was in. He was just, I've been there before, shell-shocked. I've lost last-second games before, games we shouldn't have lost. I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, what the hell just happened? And for his dad to come over there and start yelling at him, and security allow him to approach him. Now, the only reason why they did that was because that's Tyrese Halliburton's dad. That's the only reason why he got that close to Giannis. But my deal is this. In the future, put all parents up. Why are you on the floor? So you can be seen. You can't see the game down there. You do not get a good view of the game down there. You don't. I've been down there before. There's not a good view of the game. You're close to the players and you're being seen. Other than that, you don't really have, because everything is right there. Now, if you're not there to really dissect the game, then yeah, it's a great seat because all the stuff's going on. And if you're going to sit behind at the end zone, right by the basket. Now you got a full view of the court. You can see everything. But on the side, you can't. It's not a good view. You're there to be seen, only. And yeah, you're there to interact with the players and stuff like that. But you're there to be seen. I hate those seats because I'm trying to enjoy the game and watch the game. So to me, the NBA, to get all this dad stuff out the way, put their ass up in the suite. Put the families up in the suite. Then you ain't got none of this. Because there is no reason why a parent should have access on the court or to a player. And parents acting a fool like that. Put them all up in the suite. You want to come at the game? Okay, we'll get the team suite. Y'all can be up there, be together. All the parents can be in the suite together. Because that will stop a lot of this nonsense. Remember T. Morant and Shannon got into it. He got into it with the players. Halliburton is known for a player. This is what Stephen A. Smith says, that he's known for talking trash and doing all that. Okay, why are you not being a parent supporting your son? If you're a parent, you're supposed to be there to be hidden. Nobody needs to see you. Go up in the stands. And let's say, stop all this nonsense, NBA. Put those parents up in a suite. You won't have this problem. You won't have T. Morant doing the stuff he's doing. You won't have Halliburton's parents doing what he's doing. Put them up in the suite. Where's Patrick Mahomes' family? Up in the suite. Where's Josh's family? Up in the suite. Where's Brady's family? Up in the suite. Put them up in the suite. That way you don't have to worry about this. You don't have to worry about it. This solves all that. Or NBA, guess what? Ban all parents from being on the floor. Said from now on, no more parents on the floor. That'll stop all this nonsense. It ain't hard. And they were talking about, suspending him or whatever. No, just say, okay, no longer can parents be on the floor. You have to be up in the suite or so many rows back where you can't get on the floor. That'll end all this nonsense. That'll end all of it right there. It ain't hard. But once again, David Stern is not the guy. And David Stern, I don't know if he could have handled the things. Guys with the jerseys hanging all out. And it's what's so sad is about this. And that's the thing I don't like about SGA and a lot of these players. Name me one of the top 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 players in the league ever who had their shirt out. Not one. Their shirts were never out. Their shirts were always tucked. They didn't come sit down off the court and pull the jersey out. Why is your jersey being pulled out when what does that matter? Tuck your shirt in, sit down. Your shirt's in. Why are you pulling it out to sit on the bench to do what? To tuck it back in and go, what is that? Just make it a rule. Keep your shirt tucked in or it's a tech. Guess what? They'll keep the damn shirts tucked in. It looks trashy. But once again, the NBA players run the league. But to me, this dad thing, dude, to me, I've had enough. If you want to be like that, go up in the stands. In that, you don't have to, Stephen A. Smith wanted them to get suspended. No, I don't. And, somebody else said, no. Just say, okay, you're no longer on the floor. You now have to be up in the suite or in our deal club level. That way, keep them off the floor. You can still see your son right there just as good as you can down there. It's just you aren't a part of the game. You're going to see your son or your daughter, or your son or your daughter or whatever, if it's the WNBA, the W, you can see them after the game. What difference does it make? I'm just over it. Okay, to me, is like the last straw. Stop all this nonsense. Stop all the nonsense. You took away from your son who had a tremendous game. Showed out, played magnificent, won the game for them, and now it's about you, what you did. Now, yeah, you apologize and all that. Yeah, that's great and fine and dandy. You'll never happen again. You embarrassed your son. You are now the talk instead of your kid and what he did. Your kid made it to the league, not you. Now, did you sacrifice for him? Yes. This is a guy who's a former coach and an official. But that's how they act when they get to the point where now all of a sudden I've got recognition. My son is this. I'm this. You living through your kid. Put their ass off the court. End all this nonsense. If you're a family member, you're no longer allowed on the court. I don't care if you're a girlfriend, wife, whatever. Get up in the suite. That way you're protected. Nobody can bother you. You're safer. Put them up in the suite. That ends all that. Angel Johnson says he needed his son to apologize. That's not immature. What that is, that's sad. That your son has to come on national TV and apologize in front of the world. I saw somebody say it in front of the NBA. No, this is worldwide. Your son have to apologize for your actions in front of the world. But to me, it's real simple, Angel. Put them all up in the suites. You cannot look. No wives, no girlfriends, wags or whatever they're called or whatever. None of y'all can be on the floor. Y'all all have to be up in the suite. Stop all this nonsense. If you're a family member or wife, girlfriend, whatever, you're up in the suite. Kid, whatever, you're up in the suites. It's like Jason Tatum. You don't see anything with his mom or his son. You see Deuce coming out there warming up. You see Deuce at the end of the game hugging his dad or whatever, but you don't see none of these issues with these parents, except the ones whose dads are living through their children. You should be proud. This is about your son, not about you. You should never have any sort of distraction toward your child. That's the thing I like about Rayford Young. All he's doing and his wife is doing is building up his son's future with their foundation, with their academy. That's what they're doing. They're building what there's when their son's done playing basketball. Here's something for him to live for. Here's something for him to do. Here's a foundation. Here's what we're doing in the community. Here's this. Here's that. They're setting that up for him just like they did now. Before, we're preparing everything for you to be able to be ready for the NBA, or the NFL, or the Major League Baseball, or hockey, or soccer. We're preparing that for you now. Once you get there, we're going to set up the foundation. We're going to do that so when you're done playing sports, bam, here you go. But instead, they're making it about them. It's just unfortunate. It's so unfortunate because what a great game it was. And speaking of that, let's just go ahead and look at the story. I mean, what a great game that just totally got taken away. But once again, it's the Bucks. I'm so mad. I even put the wrong team in there. It was the Bucks and the Pacers. I even put the wrong team in there. I'm so mad. I'm not mad. I'm mad. I'm angry that the sport that I love, the league is going down because LeBron and what he did with the All-Star game, which people don't watch because they made it unplayable. Now you got these dads coming in and doing the stuff that they're doing, and you're making it about you and not about your child. And there's some guys and some dads, that's what it's about. It's about the kids, not about them. And it's sad. It's really sad. And it's unfortunate. Now, Pistons and Knicks. Man, I can tell you this, what a hell of a game that was. And I'm sitting there watching. And it reminds me of Dagnall, what he does with SGA at the 6-minute mark, when he doesn't put him in the game right away. You know, you get that timeout at the 6:46, whatever a mark it is, that you get the automatic TV timeout or the automatic timeout. He will sub in everybody and leave SGA on the bench. And as soon as the ball is put in play, he takes SGA off the bench instead of putting him in the game right then and there. And when you look at the game last night at the end, and I'm talking about Tom Thibodeau and what he did. The Knicks were down 2, and you could see them struggling. And here comes Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart off the bench, and they sat there. It was like 240-something, 250, 2:30, somewhere around there. Down two. And they're over there. And I'm watching it. And he's only got one timeout left because he had to burn a timeout because Josh was hurt. And so he couldn't get up, so he had to burn a timeout right then and there, which took away one of their timeouts. So, and then remember, if you challenge and you lose your challenge, which he had, then that takes a timeout away. So that hurt them right there. He only had one timeout, and I understand, but my thing is this. They had open looks, and Towns was, Bridges, you have to make a shot. Towns, you got to make a shot. None of you guys made a shot in 2 minutes. So he had to call a timeout with 30 seconds left. They get down three, come in, boom, make a three right off the bat, down three. They have a chance to win. Schroeder misses a free throw. They come down, and then who's in the game? Somebody who shouldn't have been shooting free throws. But the way it worked out is now you can't even have the lineup you had to take and either take Bridges out or Anunoby out. But my thing is this. One of the other guys have one of them foul them even though they're shooting free throws. And you would have thought, and I know this is what Thibodeau was thinking. There's got to be a foul or stoppage in play or a turnover or something. But unfortunately for the Knicks, there was none of that. And then the coach had to come over and say, hey, that was my bad. I only had one timeout. And we all as basketball fans and basketball people who understand basketball, we all knew exactly what it was. Bro, we get it. You're holding on to your last timeout. We understand what you're doing. But at that particular time, you go from down 2 to down 6. Now, did you fight your way back and have a chance to get back in it? Yes, you did. But the bottom line is you wasted a timeout on a challenge. That was gone. Then Josh Hart got hurt. And Brunson twisted his ankle, so you had to call a timeout for that. So now you're on down to 1. I get it. And you may have needed that timeout for later. And I know what he was thinking. There's 2 minutes and 40, let's say 40 seconds left to make it easy. You would have thought there would be a foul. There'd be a drop. There would be some sort of turnover of some sort. None of that happened. So you got zero benefit out of that. And it cost them the game. Now, Thibodeau should have just said at the end of the bus, you know what, this is what I was doing, and we all knew. But, that was my bad. I did that. Angel says, I never liked Tibbs. I like him. I just don't like how he just plays all of his players to death. And he just runs them in the dirt. And they always getting hurt this time of the season. And by the time the playoffs come, it always is. But I do understand what he was saying. I do get it. But, bro, if you call the timeout, if you need one late, you don't. Because remember, that's what happened in the Thunder Game 6 last year. Didn't have a timeout left because he challenged the play. So you have to have your timeouts. They're so important. That's why I always say that to me, talk about Dagnall. 6:47, just sub J-Dub out and put SJ in the second and fourth quarters. Just sub him out when it's real easy. Keep your timeouts because you may need them. Thibodeau was out of one. If you miss a challenge, if you have a waste of time out there, your challenge, that's 2 timeouts of your 5 are gone. You're gone. So now you're really screwed with timeouts. So it's easy. Just sub him out and sub him back in 3 minutes because you're going to anyways. So sub him out in 3-4, give him 3 or 4 minutes so we can make a run with him on the bench. But that's what happens when you do that. Celtic and Magic, that was over with. There's nothing really to talk about. The Magic got their 1 win. They're not ready. They're a couple of players away from being who they need to be. And then we talked about the Bucks and the Pacers and what a great game that was. And I just feel sorry for Giannis. I really, really feel sorry for Giannis because, to me, he's one of the greatest players that we have in the league right now. And with Dame being, they never really, people were hurt all year long. And with Dame being gone, he won't be back till when? Probably January? Probably. What do you do if you're Milwaukee? What if you do if you're Giannis? Do you ask for a trade? Where do you go? Because remember, Milwaukee's already did this once. They had to trade Lou Alcindor, who was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to you people who don't know who that is. So, to me, just rebuild. You don't really have the roster to do what you need to do. Just rebuild. Go in there, just say, hey, listen, like the Thunder did, got rid of Westbrook, got rid of Paul George, got all this, and we've been rebuilding ever since. It took, 3 years? 1 year of it was brutal, but you could see the growth with Josh Giddey drafting properly to go with SGA, who you got in the trade. And you could just see how the Thunder were just growing. Then year 2 of the second deal, all of a sudden you get J-Dub in there, and you had drafted Chet. Chet got hurt, but you got J-Dub with Josh. And you still got Lou Dort. You still got Wiggins. You still got K-Rich. You still have that base. And all of a sudden, boom, you start going to another level. Then, bam, you get Kaysen. You get Chet back, and look where you're at. Then you make the trade for Josh, to trade Josh to get Caruso, and then you get iHeart. You're rolling. 3 years. Ship them both for as many picks as possible. I agree. Just reset it. Just give Giannis, he brought you a championship to your city. Your second one, both of them you had two of the greatest players in history, Lou Alcindor and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Trade them. Trade them. Look what you did with you. You never really recovered pretty much after that. What you did, you got Brewer and you got Sidney Moncrief, and you had that group playing, so you did do better, Sidney Moncrief. But I'm with you, Angel. Trade him. Now, James, you're not going to get a whole lot for because he's pretty much at the end of his career, clearly. And the Achilles is hard to come back from, but Kevin Durant came back from, but he's still not the same player he used to be. But Giannis, you can get 3-4 first-round picks. I saw somebody talking about trading Giannis to the Thunder. We don't need Giannis. What do we need Giannis for? Now, it would be great, but okay. Give me a 6'9". Give me a Nas Reed. Give me Nas Reed. 6'9", athletic, can shoot threes, play defense, block shots, and rebound. Give me that. We're good. Which we could have gotten Cam Johnson, but they wanted too much. So, to me, I don't think he should go to us, but trade him somewhere like New York doesn't have because they already give away everything. But, he can go to, maybe Miami. Like Kevin Durant's going to be out of Phoenix. Trade him. Get him somewhere where he can go. People talk about bringing him to Oklahoma City. We were at the barbershop yesterday, and he was talking about bringing Westbrook back. I go, for what? He's a cancer to do what? We don't need him. Now, if he wants to come back, sign for one day, and retire, yeah, do that. But Kevin Durant would be better fit than him because Kevin Durant could just come in. He's a plug-and-play guy. Russell's not a plug-and-play guy. He's just not. Now, he played great. Let me give him his props. They won their game the other night. And reunite Giannis with Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton's on his way out. Come on, Angel. You know that. Chris Middleton's pretty much done. But anyway, that's kind of how I look at it and how that should happen. But to me, just trade Giannis. He gave you a championship. Trade him now where you can get a lot out of him and you can rebuild. Like for the Thunder, it took us 3 years. And I can tell you, a lot of you people who are now doing podcasts and doing all this stuff on the Thunder, where were you 3 years ago? You weren't doing a podcast then. Where were you 2 years ago? This is my, 300th show? Something like that. 280th, 260th show, 350th, 60th show, or whatever it is. Let me see if I can pull it up on here. To say what show it is. So, I know that I've been doing this for a while. Let me see. This is my 560th show. Remember, there's only 80 games. 82 games in the league. It's my 582 show on this. Now, after the storm, I have not done that many. After the storm, let's see how many after the storms I have done. After the storms, I've done, hang on one second. After the storms, I've done 243 shows. So, through 240 post-game shows. So, that means that when we were losing, I started doing this show. So I've watched us gradually get better and better and better. So when I say stuff, people get mad at me, and like these kids the other day told me, told a friend of mine, heard me goes, he's an idiot. And they're also the ones that said we lost 3 times to the Timberwolves. I go, the only team we lost 3 games to was the Dallas Mavericks. We split with everybody else, or we beat them. So thank you. I appreciate. Hey, thank you, Angel. Says that's why I got to stay tuned in because they appreciate real basketball convos. I appreciate that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give us praise when we're praising. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna beat you up when you. I'm gonna criticize you when you need it. I'm not gonna be just this blanket, stick my head in the sand and go, oh well, we're winning, yeah. But the things I'm afraid of are the things that I'm afraid of. The things that can keep us winning the chip are the things that I'm afraid of, and the things that I bring up because they make me nervous. Things that worry me about us not achieving the ultimate goal that we should achieve. That's just me. Okay. All right, we're gonna come back and I'm gonna go take my break, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna discuss the games today, and then the bracket and how everything goes from there. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit my guys up at SRB. They are fantastic. And if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, those guys will make sure that you have clean drinking water. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit my guys up over there. They love to take care of you. They're great. Oak Grove is fantastic. I really, really highly recommend them if you have needs for dirt. Plus, if you're tearing down a house or got some construction, hey, call them up. They can put it back in their dump truck and take it to the dump for you. So do that, okay? YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area when it's not raining. We were supposed to be at Georgia's today, but it's just raining over here in the hood, so that's why we're not at Georgia's right now. I'm upset about that because I was looking forward to some ends and some greens. Oh man, I was looking forward to that. Anyway, let me get off track. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go to the main bank at 401M, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is off the Parkway in 66, US 66 or 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40. Just south of I-40, right there on Garth Brooks. Can't miss it, right in front of the hospital, right across from Louis. Can't miss it. And then, of course, YNB Peoples, located in Bethany, Oklahoma, on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. Guys, some good smelling stuff. Really, truly is. Love that stuff. And they always tell me, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. I cannot wait. They are fantastic. We'll be there the third Thursday of every month there in Penn Square. So come by the mall and see my girl Beth or Ty, anybody like that, and they will take care of you and make sure that you get anything you need, or Tanya, and just tell them that we sent you, and they will give you some free samples for you to try out there at the mall, okay? That's the Penn Square Mall location at Dillard's, Woodland Hills Mall, Dillard's, Town East Mall in Wichita, Oak Park Mall in Casey, Missouri, Park Plaza Mall, and Little Rock, South Plains Mall in Lubbock, and Westgate Mall. What I need to do is do a show on a Thursday. I need to go to Tulsa on a Thursday. That's what I need to do. I need to talk to Tanya about that, coming and do a show there. That's what I need to do. That'd be fantastic. That's what I'm thinking. Plus, it's an excuse for me to go to Tulsa. I like T-Town. I really do. Go see my boy James Wager. He'd love it. James Weaker. Anyway, playoff games tonight, 6:30, the Warriors at the Rockets. Rockets 4.5-point favorites, over under 204 and 204.5. And I hope the Rockets win so my grandson will be in a better mood. He's like me. He doesn't deal with losing very well. So anyway, I hope that they get the win tonight. I know that they're looking to knock them off, but the way I look at it is this. The Rockets, they're going to be at home, so Jalen Green, his first game he had, 9 points. Second game he came back with 30, tied the series up 1-1. Then he went out there and scored, what, 7-9 or 7-8 or 8-9 or something stupid in the two games on the road. And to me, Jalen Green is one of these guys. He's athletic as all get out. I don't know how skilled he is as a basketball player, but he's just athletic and he just out athletics everyone, and that's a good thing. But he reminds me a lot of hood players that they can just you can't beat them. They can just go at you. But the problem is in team basketball and with officials and all that, it's a little bit harder for them to really be what they need to be. But he does have the potential and he does have the ability to get them. And I've said right before the playoffs, right before the series started, he was going to be the key whether the Rockets win or lose. And I said that before because of the simple fact that Şengün's going to do what he does. Amen Thompson's going to play defense, and everybody else is going to do their role. But he is the X factor to me, and he has not shown up yet to play and to take them to the next level. And he's going to have to be able to do that for them to win. And I don't know if he can. To be honest with you, I really don't. I don't know if he can get it done, and we shall see if he can. But I just don't know. Timberwolves and the Lakers are the late game. They're on TNT. And Timberwolves up 3-1. And it's so funny is, everybody talks about the the Lakers and Luka, how he's not in shape. Luka don't play defense. And somebody, this one little guy I was talking about came up with this stat about, Luka's better defense than one. I said, man, shut up. This dude, he wears me out. That's one thing I can't listen to this show hardly. It's because of him. Because he's a Chiefs hater, and it's just to me, it's like, bro, you constantly talking trash about Mahomes and the team that you're a fan of, that you should be talking about. You don't say anything negative about them. They're terrible, terrible ownership, terrible management. They just who they are. But this guy just wears me out constantly. Let me say this. I know we can't tell. But it seems like Cade has more of an engagement. You talking about Cade Cunningham? Angel, is that what you're talking about for the Pistons? Yes, he does. He does other than more. He has more than Jalen Green. But Jalen Green has potential. Angel says Jalen Green out there dating washed up models with his fingernail polish. He's got his fingernail polish on. Thinking he's cool. That's funny. But yeah, Jalen Green, but he has tons of talent, but we'll see. But back to the Lakers. Luka. The Lakers, my 6.5-point favorites, 209.5. I think the Lakers can beat them. Okay? I think the Lakers can beat the T-Wolves tonight at home. But make no mistake, Ant-Man and them are going at it. 100%. 100%. That's what I figured you were talking about, Angel. I figured you were talking about Cade Cunningham. He's a beast. He's going to be a hell of a player. They still are one player away from being who they did. And remember, Jaden Ivey's hurt. He ain't even playing. So when he gets back, they've got Bickerstaff. I think they're going to be a hell of a team, the Pistons, to watch out for in the future. But Luka, to me, he's just getting exploited over and over. They saw this stat where Ant-Man shot 94% against him. Or 84 or 94% against him with Luka guarding him. Luka can't guard him. But Luka doesn't care about defense, which is one of the reasons why I understood what the Mavericks did. They felt like they're going to get there. They're not going to win with him because he's going to get exploited. And that's why they did what they did. The Lakers, however, they're sitting there, and I don't blame Rob Pelinka. I'm not giving up my picks to get a big man for you yet. No. We'll see after this year who's in free agency, who we can bring over, who we can have as a stopgap. And yes, Angel, Randall versus LeBron has been crazy. Yes, it has. And Randall's angry because he was drafted by the Lakers. So he's angry at that, 100%. And he's making a move. But the Lakers, 6.5-point favorites, over under 209.5 tonight. But I agree with you. I think Randall is angry. And Ant-Man and LeBron, because Ant-Man is like coming at LeBron. I don't know if you saw that. But he's like guarding him. He's like, dude, I got KD last year. I'm getting you this year. Luka got him last year at Dallas. Why? Because Dallas had inside presence. They had those two bigs back there. He ain't got that in L.A. He ain't got nobody protecting his backside. And I was saying this the other day, is that, Having Leroy Combs and Joe Atkins behind me made me a better defensive player because I could be more aggressive at you up front. Because if I got a big behind me, I know that if you get by me, I have to. You're not going to get easy layup. You're going to have to worry about one, him blocking a shot, two, me blocking a shot. So it allows you to be a little bit more free defensively. But Luka doesn't even try defensively. He doesn't care. Sometimes he's engaged, but most times he is not engaged. And that's why they just go at him over and over and over. Thunder, we attack Luka nonstop. We attack Luka, and we attack Reeves nonstop. We attack them every single time. You get about them, you attack them. Because they don't move their feet. They can't guard you. And that's the difference. And that's how I look at it. I think that you have to have some bigs to protect Luka because he's just not there. I saw this stat, or I heard this stat today, that Luka had 25 dunks his first year in the league. First 2 years in the league. He's had 2 in the last 2 years because he's out of shape. And I believe, and I agree with them, I'm not paying you $70 million, $72 million, or $75 million for you to be just offensive me for, I'm going to have you 3-4 more years. If Luka doesn't get in shape and he doesn't change his body, he's not going to make it past another 5 years being dominant. He's just not, because people are going to catch up to him. But he's 6'6", he's 6'7", he's long, he's physical. Yeah, he's going to get by, but at some point, that's going to go away. That's going to go away. So he's going to need to get in shape. Now, whether he's committed to doing that, I don't know. And they're talking about Jokic. Jokic is playing 40 minutes. But Jokic, he's just a big boy, but he seems to be in shape. Now, whether he's pacing himself, and what I've learned to do is I tell my kids how to pace yourselves. If you're a guard, you want to kick the ball up the floor and let them get an easy layup. That's one possession. You don't have to go past the three-point line on this end of the basket. Or you don't have to go past half court. That gives you a chance to rest. You got to pick your spots to do, and that's why Jokic is so good at long passes. Why? That means he doesn't have to run. That's a possession he doesn't have to run the floor. That's a possession he gets to rest. But as I've said, here in the playoffs, I'm pulling up the brackets right now. This is what I said from the very, 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 very beginning, okay? Which is the reason why I wanted the matchups being the matchups that I wanted. I wanted Thunder against the Grizzlies, and I wanted the Nuggets and the Clippers, which they'll play tomorrow, because they can beat the hell out of each other. It's 2-2. Let them beat 3-2. Sorry, Denver. They can beat the crap out of each other. And I said that it would go 6 or 7 games. That's what I said yesterday, or before the season started. I wanted the Lakers and the Timberwolves to go 6 or 7 games, as I thought. And I do believe the Lakers will win tonight, and I think they'll come back. And the Timberwolves may probably end them because the Lakers are just not deep enough. Neither are the Nuggets. But once again, the Clippers are the Clippers. What do we always say? What do we say? Nets, Jets, Clippers. Nets, Jets, Clippers. That's what they are. And they will always find a way to go from being able to win to lose. Rockets and Warriors, I predicted probably 6 games. I still think it's going to be 6. I think the Warriors will come back. I think the Rockets will win tonight because I believe Jalen Green will step up and play and win the game for them. And because they've been in every game, they just haven't had anybody to really do anything for them down the stretch. That's really cost them. So I believe they will come back and they will handle that. And that's what we believe the Rockets or the Warriors still going to win. But now, that being said, the Timberwolves and the Warriors are going to be a completely different game because the Timberwolves are way bigger inside than the Warriors are. And I think that's going to affect the Warriors at some point. Steph Curry is going to have to be out of his mind. Jimmy Butler's going to have to be out of his mind because Draymond, who is he going to guard? Gobert? Okay. Well, when Nas is in there, how is he going to guard Nas? Nas can put the ball on the floor, and he can do more to him. So that's going to be an interesting series. But I don't care if it's the Nets, the Nuggets, or the Clippers. I just want them to beat the crap out of each other. So by the time they play us, and I've said this, if the Nuggets win, they're only 7 deep, and they're playing, 40 minutes a game, 41 minutes a game? By the time games 4 and 5 come, they're going to be wore down because you can't continue to play physical series after series after series. Your body is going to get worn down. You can't do it, I promise you. We're going to beat up Jokic. We're going to be physical with Jamal Murray. And Russell Westbrook is going to do, by the way, let me give my credit to Russell. And he played good yesterday, so let me go ahead and give him his flowers. He played good
Oh,
yesterday.
you don't want to do that.
Hey, what's up, Nathan? How you doing, big dog? No, I
I'm good,
mean,
man. How are you?
Russell played good the first quarter. Did he not?
Yeah, yeah, he played good. Hitting
Okay,
threes.
so I'm giving
Never
him his
seen him do that
flowers.
before.
I'm giving him
Never
his
seen him do
flowers.
that.
Well, when did you come in? What is your comment? Or what is your thoughts on anything I said?
I've only been here for like a minute, man.
Okay. So anyway, but anyway, that's my thing on the series. I think the Nuggets and the Clippers are doing what they thought. The Lakers and the Timberwolves, I think the Lakers will win tonight. Do you think the Lakers will win tonight?
I hope so. I want him to go 7.
Yeah, I agree with you. I want to be physical and get the crowd beat out of them. Uh, what about Warriors and Rockets tonight?
That's a surprising series to me, man. I thought the Warriors after Jimmy Butler went down. I thought they were done. Um,
Game 3 loss killed them.
yeah,
Talking about
I
the
hope
Rockets.
yeah I hope the Warriors win because I hate the Rockets. But just because I can't stand Dylan Brooks and Shane Goon and how good they think they are, I just can't stand that. I don't know, man. We'll see. I think the Warriors probably get beat tonight, but that's just me. I think the Rockets probably take it 6, but then the Warriors will probably win in 6.
Yeah, that's
That's my
kind of what I was
opinion.
thinking. Yeah, but I think that the Warriors, the Rockets have a better chance of beating the T Wolves than the Warriors do.
Yeah, agreed. But man, that'd be a fun series to watch, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, it's
Warriors,
going to be.
Warriors in the Timberwolves.
What is your thought process on what I was talking about Luca and how his lack of playing defense is the reason why they got rid of him, and you can just see.
Oh yeah,
Would you want to play Luca 7? They would have had to pay him what, $72 million, I think is what it was, which is what
something like
Oklahoma's
that.
going, which is what we're going to have to pay SGA.
Well, I mean, no, I would not. Is the answer to your question? I would. I agree with you. I think that's why they traded him. Now he's a great offensive player, but I mean, I think we've talked many times now. He did go to the finals last year, which was pretty surprising. Of course, he had a lot of help,
Yes,
but
he did.
I just don't think that kind of basketball is winning basketball. That's just my opinion. Um, I just don't think you can win a championship playing like that with one guy dominating the ball so much. I just don't. But it is what it is. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. I don't know. We'll see. I'll
Yeah.
tell you
Well,
one
he
thing.
doesn't give you anything on the defensive side at all, though.
No, nothing. I mean, nothing against this guy because I know they love him around here. But I mean, he reminds me of Trae Young.
Yeah.
I mean, Trey's a great player, but on defense, he's just at least there's no excuse. But Trey's a lot smaller. So I mean,
But Trey at least
he
tries. He gives
does.
you an
He does.
effort.
Well, it's like Isaiah Joe. He tries, but those guys are just so much bigger than he is that you can't. I mean, you can't do anything about it.
Well, Isaiah Joe is bigger than Trey.
Well, I'm talking about like height.
Size
I mean,
wise,
not necessarily
size
height,
wise.
but like
Size wise.
thickness and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That makes sense.
So
Yeah.
now Trey is an amazing offensive player. Probably Hall of Famer if I had to guess. But he
Yeah.
just, you can't. I mean, at that stature in the NBA, when you're dealing with guys that are twice your size, I mean, it's hard to guard those guys. No matter how good you are.
Yeah, Angel was like, nah, go Wolves. Angel wants the Wolves. Uh, what is your thoughts on the Halliburton's dad deal? I gave a big 30, 20-minute thing about dads in the NFL and NBA.
Okay, so I didn't see this. I mean, I saw a little across the ticker. Tell me what he did.
Okay, after the game, Giannis is just standing there, just like, did we just lose? How did we blow a 7-point lead in 40? You know what I mean? Just literally
Right.
just like I gave the stat. I think Nathan it's it was 1,690 games to 0 when leading by 7 with 40 seconds left and losing in the NBA.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's just standing there like, what? Just like literally just shocked. And Halliburton's dad, Randy Halliburton, runs up to him with a T-shirt with his sons on. This is what we do. This is what we effing do. Blah blah blah. And what I'm so Giannis is just like looking at him, and then finally Giannis just goes off on him, and he's his dad's small, so Giannis's forehead's against his forehead, and you can see Halliburton's mom like, come on, but hey, we're into it at that, and the security was standing there, so nothing really happened. It was just talking, but to
telling you,
me,
if I was Giannis, I'd have knocked his ass out.
well,
I'm just
but
saying.
to me, that's not gonna help Giannis. And then Giannis afterwards just was like, dude, you know, when you win, I was humble when I won. I didn't, when you
Yeah,
win,
that's right.
you don't throw it, you don't act like that when you win. And he goes, you
You
know what? All I know is I have a championship and they don't.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You and Drew always talk about that. Act like you've been here.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Like to me, Nathan, here's my suggestion. Like on First Take, they were talking about how he needs to be suspended for a couple games and how he shouldn't have. To me, this is the deal. Take all parents, girlfriends, wives, put them up in the suite.
yep, I agree.
Put them up in the
100%.
suite. That will stop all this nonsense because now you ain't there to be. You ain't gonna be seen. You're not gonna get your IG likes. You're not gonna get your TikToks. You're not gonna get none of that. Put their ass up in the stands.
And they
And
should
then
start with John Morant's dad.
that's why I put him on there too. But I was talking about this is the day of dads. His dad, Halliburton's dad now, Dion, what he did for his son by not getting an agent and giving him bad advice.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nico's dad, Amalala,
Hmm.
whatever his name is, from
Yeah.
Tennessee. Those
Yeah.
parents, and somebody said that, what was it they said they called him? That
So vicariously through their kids.
professional athlete dads now are like pageant moms. That's what they said. They're like
That's a
pageant
great
moms.
comparison. That's a
Yeah,
great comparison.
that's what I said too. Because I know some pageant moms, but like I said, the only dad I know is Rayford Young, who is amazing. He's not even nothing like
Yeah,
these
he's
guys.
not. He's
He
different
doesn't
than
even want to
me.
be seen. He's
No.
behind the scenes. He's building up his son's
Well,
future here in Oklahoma through the foundation. So
right.
when his son, because like I said, these parents, what do?
Well, there's a
You
difference.
set.
Okay, so let me just
Go
say,
ahead.
not a huge difference, but there's a little difference. Rayford was there. I mean, he played.
He played for
You know,
Texas Tech. Yes.
Right,
Yes.
and he didn't play to the level Trey is, but I mean, he was still there.
Yes, he played.
So
Well, he played. Texas Tech was really good when he played. Yes.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just saying, like like NBA All Star kind of level.
Yes. Yes.
So, but yeah, no, he does it the right way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying, Nathan, is that as a parent, what they're doing is your job is to sacrifice to make sure that your kid's dream is fulfilled.
that's right. Not the other
Then
way
once
around.
it's done, then what Rayford and his wife have done is they said, okay, now when basketball season's over with, we're going to build your foundation and give you something to do once basketball season's over with. We're going to give you something else when you're 34, 35 years old. Young is young, still young. Here's something for you now to go full and board and do with your foundation and how you can help kids and help whatever it is that they have developing for them now. Paving the way just like they did for when they was young getting to the NBA or to football or to baseball or to hockey or to golf or to baseball, whatever, tennis, whatever the sport is. And I think that's it. But these guys today, I mean, Nathan, to me, put them up in the stands. You ain't going to have no
Well,
issues.
the reason you're having this problem is because what they're doing is that they didn't do anything. They're nobody knows who they are.
They're living,
they didn't do
they're
anything.
yes.
They're living on their kids' 15 minutes of fame.
That's correct. Correct, 100%.
And that's not the way you're supposed to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. To me, it's just like, that's what you do. It's like, but the frustrating part to me is that his dad apparently has been called out by players to the NBA before.
Wow.
And my thing is this: how does he get all the way to Giannis? And the only reason why he did security let him get there because of who he is, and they did nothing because they're afraid. Because Tyrese Halliburton is your star player, so they're afraid to do anything. They're not, you know what I'm saying? He has that power. But my problem is that, Giannis, Nathan, if you go back and look at the video, Giannis is just sitting there just like, what? Wait, what? Did we just lose third for the first round, third year in a row? I mean, what literally he's just there, like in shock. And then you also see his dad coming up and you can't see what he's saying because the view is from the back. You know what I'm saying, Nathan?
Right.
And then Giannis says what he says, I'm an F in this and that. And the fact that your son has to go apologize in front of the world, and some people's like, oh, in front of NBA, the world about your actions.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
The world.
I'm going to tell you one thing, though, bud. On the other side of that, I would be surprised if Giannis is a Buck next year.
Oh, I talked about that too. I think that he needs to go, and the Bucks should let him go like they did with Lou Alcindor.
Yeah.
When Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Well, so that means they trade Dame too, don't you think?
Well, the problem is, Angel had said that they need to trade them both. Angel said that in the chat earlier, but the problem, Nathan, is what are you going to do?
Well, Dame's still productive. I mean, you can still garner some trade picks.
Hey.
Well, you got to rebuild. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, hey, Angel says he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't have done that to Isaiah Stewart. No, Angel, he would not have done that to Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart is the power forward for the Detroit Pistons. Yeah, he wasn't going to do that to him. I remember Isaiah Stewart is the one who wanted to take LeBron's head off. So yeah, Isaiah's not a guy you want to mess with. But
well, and Giannis is such a
easygoing, laid back.
You know, he's such a laid back superstar.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
such a humble dude.
Real humble. Yeah,
well,
I
you know
agree.
why? Because I mean, the way did you watch that documentary on him? By the way, I forget the name. I think it was on Disney maybe or something.
No.
It was really good. It went through his upbringing and his childhood. It showed how he started playing basketball, and then it ends the night he gets drafted. So it's really cool, man. You should watch that.
Yeah. No, I'm a huge fan of Giannis, man. But I just think
dude.
To me, I was talking about this earlier, Nathan. I was like, do what the Thunder did: trade Westbrook, trade PG, start over. Yeah. It only took us 3 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's.
No. After 2021, when we got Josh. We won 20 games.
I agree with the time period.
Yeah,
I'm saying that doesn't happen.
Well, because you have to have a Sam Presti, first of all.
You got to have a superstar.
Well, but no, what I'm saying is they traded for SGA and gave up Paul George, and got the picks. By the way, the picks that are still giving.
Yeah, absolutely.
That we're still getting. But anyway, you do that because he's going to get way more than Paul George got. He's worth every bit of 5 first-round, 6 first-round picks.
What's the biggest trade that's been made lately with a big star? Was it Luka? Well, Luka doesn't count.
No, it was Rudy Gobert for 4 first-round picks or something.
Kevin
Durant's
been traded.
Did Kevin Durant get 4 picks?
Kevin got when he traded to the Suns. Remember they got those 4 first-round picks and Cameron Johnson and Mikal Bridges and whatever. That was a fleecing. My goodness.
Yeah, it was. But I just think that to me, trade him, get your start over. Because like I was saying, Nathan, for us, the year after that, excuse me, we won those 20 games. But you could see something built. Then we get J-Dub. Okay. And Chet. But really only J-Dub. Then we turn around, and then we get Chet comes back. We get Kaysen. And then we get iHeart and Caruso, and we're rolling.
Well, and in that entire time, SGA is turning into the MVP.
Yep. And Dort. And Wiggins. And K-Rich. And J. Well came later. He came later. He came with J-Dub in that second year. But when you look at this team and how Sam Presti built them, it started with a superstar, or a budding, or a burgeoning, emerging superstar.
Right.
Because remember, the Clippers did not want to give up SGA.
No, they did not.
They did not want to give up SGA. Now we know why.
Well, yeah.
And Doc Rivers said he begged Kawhi, bro, just play 1 year with this dude, man.
Well, here's the thing, though. I thought, and Sam Presti, if he's being honest with you, will say, I would say the same thing. Like, they knew he was going to be good, but they didn't think he was going to be this good.
No, he did not. No one did.
No. Anybody that tells you that, they're lying to you.
But I don't think anybody knew Kevin Durant was going to be as good as he is, top 10 player.
Well, but he was hyped coming out of college, though, man.
Yeah, I know that.
SGA was too, but he was what, pick 13?
Yeah, but how about that draft that we went over? God damn.
Oh,
man.
no,
Jeez.
I know.
Jeez.
Think about that entire draft, right? That was a really good draft. Who's the best player in that draft? I mean, Luka, maybe?
Well, now, who is?
That's what I'm saying now. Like, SGA and Luka, that's the only 2 you can argue.
Yeah.
I mean, Trey's good, but he's not MVP good.
No, I think I deleted that. I wish I had enough. Oh, here's Kentucky's players.
Oh, my God, dude.
Top 10. SGA, Anthony Davis, Devin Booker, Carl Anthony Towns, De'Aaron Fox, Bam Adebayo, Tyrese Maxey, Jamal Murray, Julius Randle, Tyler Hero,
Oh my
and
God.
Casey Wallace.
How did they not win more championships?
They won one out of that whole group. They got
Wow.
one.
Was that the one when they didn't even win when Calipari went undefeated, did they?
No, they lost in the semis.
Shit. Golly.
Yeah. Carl Anthony Towns is the only one that won a chip out of that group.
That is nuts, man.
I mean, think about that. And now you add Case into that group.
Yeah. And there was more that you didn't even say.
Yeah, but
I
I'm talking
guarantee it.
about. I mean,
Just
there's a
top
bunch.
10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's several, but man,
Well, here's the thing that Presti did well that you allow, and a credit to him because he changed the way he did things. If you have the superstar first, like you'd almost have to have the superstar first because then you know how to build around him.
right?
You know what I mean?
Which they did not do the first time.
Right. That's exactly right. And he changed the way he did. I mean,
Agreed.
before it was length, defense, and who cares about shooting? We'll figure it out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now the way he's built this team around SGA, it's just absolutely amazing.
Well, okay, Nathan, we haven't talked about this. J-Dub, 7 seconds ago, you called timeout and you put the ball in J-Dub's hands up two.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I talked to this Thunder fan after they did the show the other night. You know what he said to me, Nathan? He goes, well, I'm okay with that. I go, you are? Why? He goes, well, J-Dubs need to learn he needs to be put in that position so that it may count later. And number one and number two, I said, so if we'd have lost, that'd been okay. He goes, yeah, that just means we'd have lost. We'd have came back and won at home.
Well, that's not the point.
That was his point. That he was okay. He goes, I love Mark and I love what he's doing. I have no problem with anything that he does. That's what he said.
Well, then that guy doesn't know basketball.
That's what I said.
As simple as that.
That's what I said. I told him, I was
you
like,
think LeBron's going to be okay with, Austin Reeves taking the last shot?
well, remember when David Blatt tried to get LeBron to take the ball out of bounds? LeBron said, I'm not taking the ball out of bounds. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm not taking the ball out of bounds. Are you crazy? And David Blatt got what? Fired.
That's right.
Got fired. Like, I'm not, what are you talking about? I'm not taking the ball out of bounds. You pass the ball to me. I don't pass the ball to somebody else.
Right.
And, but so anyway, I just kind of laughed at that. I was like, that's Oklahoma City fans.
Yes.
That's Oklahoma City fans right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I said, first of all, if you play a game 5, what happens if Chet gets hurt or if Shea gets hurt in a game that you should not be playing? And I said, second of all, Dagnall is the only coach out of 30 teams that would not put the ball in his best player's hands. I said, wait a minute, I'll take that back. He put it in his best player's hands. J-Dub.
The one he thinks is the best player.
Right. That's why I said his best player's hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I said at number 3, and I told him, I said, do you know those were J-Dub's only 2 free throws of the game? He goes, huh? I go, yeah. He was 1 for 2.
Oh my gosh.
SGA was 11 for 12, 11 for 13. And how many free throws does he miss going down the stretch?
0 would be the answer to that.
Angel says that dude only watches basketball through social media, through
Well,
Thunder
here's
social
the thing.
media.
Here's
Adrian,
the thing that I
Angel.
maybe could say. You always say they're football fans, which they are. Here's the thing with football, though. Every single play, the ball starts in your best player's hands.
The quarterback.
Well, let me rephrase it. The quarterback. That's who I'm talking
Most important
So,
player. Most important
You're
player.
right. Yeah, the most important player. You're right. So maybe they're just, basketball. That's the only excuse I could kind of make. I don't know.
No, but my thing is this. You call timeout. You're up 2, 7 seconds to go, and you run a play for J-Dub knowing he's going to get fouled.
Mm-hmm.
And you're putting him on the line, and as this guy said, well, he's got to he said, well, he's got to learn to put him in that situation so he'll be ready next time. No, you do that during the season. You don't do that in the playoffs. I said, I don't even do it during the season.
Well,
I'm never going to take the ball out of a guy who shoots 90% to put in a guy that shoots 61. I'm not doing that. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that in any circumstances. And plus, he's 11 for 13. And plus, he closes out game. But once again, I wish, and I said this the other night, I only wish I could have been able to sit behind the team. And when he said that he ran that play to see what those guys thought, because I can promise you, Everybody on that team was like, "What?" Even J-Dub,
Yeah.
because he looked
Yeah.
nervous. He looked nervous.
Yeah.
He didn't want that.
No.
I can promise you, they all looked at him like, "You want to do? You do what?" I mean, SJ was like, "Wait, what? you?
Yep.
I'm not shooting the free throws." The rest of the team was like, "SJ not shooting the free throws to
Yeah.
end this game."
Are you trying to play game 5, coach, or what are you doing?
Oh, Angel says that's like being at the goal line and not running the ball with beast mode. Yes, it is. Well, I don't know if anything,
That's
Angel.
Pete
I don't know if
Carroll.
anything is that egregious.
I remember Pete Carroll.
I don't know if anything is that egregious. That was the worst. That was about them not wanting him to be the MVP of the Super Bowl MVP. That's what that was, and it cost them the Super Bowl.
You're welcome.
Well, maybe,
Win a title.
but Angel and
No,
Nathan,
It did.
what I would have wanted to see and what I was mad about, I would have wanted to see Tom Brady go 80 yards because he remember can't kick a field goal. You got to score a touchdown, not a field goal because you've been down 4. You got to score a touchdown against the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
To me, that's what I would have wanted to see.
Were you a Richard Sherman fan, by the way?
No,
curiosity.
Still not.
I wasn't either. I hate
still
Richard
not.
Sherman.
Still not. Still not. But that was my thing. I just. That's why I told this guy. I said, he goes, "Well, it doesn't matter. We're still young." I go, "Bro, you only have a 5-year window."
Mm-hmm.
Angel says the point is get it to the man who makes plays.
Mm-hmm. Not the. Hold on. Let me be sure. Not the man who makes plays. The playmaker.
The playmaker.
Yes.
What I always said is we have one playmaker and we have guys who make plays. He is the playmaker.
Right.
He's the closer, and has been the closer.
Let me ask you something. If they win a championship, and again, that's the big if. They win a championship, SGA wins MVP. How stupid are they going to look if he leaves this team?
Well, he's not. The point is that they're not going to let him leave. The Kevin Durant scenario is never going to happen again.
Mm-mm.
They're either, if you don't sign by this date, we're trading you. That's the scenario. They're not going to get the whole year. The year before his last year of his contract, he will sign with the Thunder or he will be traded.
I didn't know this. And he's eligible for a Supermax in this offseason.
Yes, but it'll be he's going to wait till the next X offseason.
Right.
Because that's when he gets the $400 million.
350, I think, this offseason.
Yes, it's gonna be. He's waiting for the $400 million. He wants to be the first $400 million guy.
Wouldn't it be crazy though? And I know it won't happen, but wouldn't it be crazy if he did sign the extension this year?
He's not. Nobody's throwing away. He's not doing that. What they're going to do this year, the thing is this: is J-Dub and whether J-Dub is going to get the Supermax because he'd beat All NBA. Well, it's only for first team All NBA.
It's just the max. He's not going to get Supermax. You can get Supermax to your third contract.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Mm-hmm. But he'll get a max. I mean,
I thought if you're first team All NBA,
you can't get a Supermax to your third contract. You're guaranteed. You can have a max extension.
Okay, because I was going to say that because Ja Morant, by not what he did 2 years ago, he was getting ready to sign his second contract.
But he was getting ready to sign his max contract, not his Supermax.
Okay, his max.
So I think a max, and I'm probably off on the numbers, but I think the max contract is like 35% of the salary cap if you meet certain benchmarks.
Well, you have to be first team All NBA. I know that.
Yeah, but that's just for the max contract, though. The Supermax contract, I think, is on your third contract, and it goes from max 35% to 40%, I think.
Well, I know that SJ is getting $400 million.
Oh, yeah. All right, he'll get a Supermax.
Yeah, Angel says, get him the Ultra Super Jordan Max.
Mm-hmm.
Angel also says, I heard he fired his agent not to split the money. No, he fired his agent, which was going to pay the agent $17 million or $11 million. And the point is that he doesn't need an agent at this point because your contract, it's automatically what it's going to be. Your agent is not negotiating you a better deal.
Right.
That's why he fired. He goes, why am I giving you 11 or 17 million? I'm just giving you that for what? I mean, why am I giving you that much money? I'm giving because that's what he's doing. He'd be giving it to him because he already has his marketing people that set it all that set up separately. Now it still may be in the same agency, but I'm not paying you I'm not giving you, which is what he'd be basically be doing, Nathan.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
not giving you. It was either 11 or 17. I'm not
What
giving that
is
to
it?
you.
10%? Is it 10%?
No, it's 3%. But whatever the amount of, it's 2% from some. It depends on what it is. But it was like 11 or 17 million dollars is what he was giving. If he signs
Yeah.
a new deal, that's what his agent was going to get.
Do a little
And to me, it's
math right
like
here.
if you're all NBA, which he is,
Hmm.
you're automatically set. And next year he's going to be that. So
So if it's 400 million, he gets $12 million, which
yes,
is absolutely ridiculous.
which is absolutely ridiculous. Yes,
Which is post tax too, because
yes,
he has to pay tax on that money and then pay the guy.
and then pay the guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's not
So,
doing that.
no.
And remember, he's a citizen of the United States, not Canada, which Canada would take even more money of it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Matt, and I don't know what's going to happen. None of us know.
Mm-hmm.
But the day they trade SGA, if that happens,
Mm-hmm.
which me and you think more than likely probably will.
Will happen. I believe it will. Yes.
So the day that happens is the day I'm no longer a Thunder fan. Just telling you.
Yeah. Well, to me, the only way it would happen. Oh, Angel says absolutely more athletes have the tools to do it themselves. Well, Angel, it depends on where you are in negotiations. Like when you're at where SGA is, an agent doesn't really help you. But
Well,
after your first
SGA
year
is
going to your,
smart, dude.
yeah, but I'm saying
He's
after you
not-
go. But what I'm saying, Nathan, right now he doesn't need an agent to negotiate his contract
No.
and where he's going to be. That's not necessary.
Well, here's the only thing you can do. Like the Supermax, yes, but you can put little clauses in there, that would detract a little bit. But
No.
SGA is smart.
Well, Nathan, you pay a guy $750 an hour to do that. You think you go to
No,
you go to
all
one
right.
of
I thought that was part of the agent's job.
yeah, it does. But you go to one of the big law firms here in Oklahoma City and say, hey, listen, will you look over my contract?
Right. Yeah.
McAfee, Taft,
Yeah.
Crow Dunlevy. You go in there and say, hey, who is your best your contract attorney? Here, look this over and make sure this is I'm paying you however much it is an hour.
What he does is walk into Phillips Murrah and hold up his contract. Anybody want to look at $400 million?
Yeah, what if Phyllis Murray, whoever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, anybody want to come in? Well, they all know who he is. Give me your
Right.
best, because it's easy to find out who the best contract attorney is in Oklahoma. That's an easy. Whether he's in Oklahoma City or Tulsa, that's an easy thing. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
So you just find out who that is, and you go to them, whichever firm he's at, and you pay his fee of his hourly wage, whatever that is, and he's going to make sure, being a Thunder fan, that you're going to be taken care of, and him take a picture with him and give him a jersey, and he's going to make sure you get the best possible.
He might do it pro bono.
No, it ain't doing pro bono, bro. That ain't happening. Ain't happening.
Heck, I would.
The firm is not going. The firm is not going to let him do that, and SGA would not ask him to do that. But
I wouldn't
give
care.
him
I'm just
no. He
hey,
ain't
man.
doing that. Randy, right?
No.
What would Randy say to you trying to give a guy an interest-free loan?
Well,
That's
here's
not
what
happening.
Randy would tell me. Now, hold on. Here's the other Randy would tell me. How much we going to make because of that? That's exactly what he would tell me.
You ain't gonna make none because you're giving an interest-free loan.
Well, I'm saying off the referrals, like, oh, hey, SGA.
None. That's not
I'd better
guaranteed.
bank with that
That's
bank.
not guaranteed, bro.
I just told you.
No, he ain't going for that. Randy is
Well,
never
first of
going
all,
for
I
no
would be
free.
fired. I would be fired.
Yes, 100%.
Let's just be honest about it.
Yeah,
Well, first of all, it wouldn't even get done because I'm not the say-all, end-all in my loan process.
In fact, I think he owes me dinner.
Oh, come on.
That sounded good.
No,
That
hey,
sounded good in my
I'm
mind.
going to tell you one thing, dude.
What?
I just want to go back. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but the day that happens, if that happens, I'm going to come on your show and I'm going to rip the Thunder organization up one side down the other, and I will never be a fan again.
Yeah.
Just telling you.
Well, my deal is the only way that happens is if Topic is what they think Topic is going to be.
Dude, it doesn't matter. It doesn't
But
matter. You
Nathan,
can tell me 100
I
scenarios.
understand. I'm just giving you a scenario. If Topic is what they think, and they can save that money, and they can use those picks, he's going to do that.
You're not wrong, but it's still the wrong thing to do.
And if you win the chip,
Especially if you win.
if you win the chip and you get now, this is the thing. If you win the chip this year, and then next year you're going to be even stronger. You're going to be coming back trying to win 2 in a row. Do something nobody's done since when Golden
Lakers,
State 20.
09, 010? Oh, Golden State, yeah.
2016, 17, 18, whatever it's been.
Yeah.
Since then, okay, that's the thing. And they Golden State would have won 3 in a row had Kevin said Thompson not gone down and KD not did his ACL or his Achilles,
That's right.
they'd have
Yep.
beat Toronto for 3 in a
Agreed.
row.
Agreed.
Yeah, so I just think that if we win today, my thing is this: it's really easy for us to understand what we need to do to win. You sub J-Dub at 5 minute mark in the first and third quarters. In the second and fourth quarters, you bring SGA in at the 6:47, 6:11, whatever mark that is. Okay, so that's 12 minutes in second and fourth quarter, and then he plays 12 minutes in the first quarter and second quarter. That's 24 minutes plus what is that? 12, 38 minutes,
Yeah.
36 minutes, 38 minutes. And if you need to bring him in early in the fourth, you bring him in.
That's right.
But I can
Bring him
promise you, they know that if we play Golden State knows what to do to counteract Dagnall. The
Yeah, especially if they got
Timberwolves,
Jimmy Butler back.
right? The Timberwolves know how Dagnall thinks and will use his substitution patterns against him. We'll use it.
And that's why we're bad against those teams, because they have good coaches.
They know how to use his the way he does things. They use that against him, because like I was saying the other day, Nathan, that the fact that Ant-Man played the whole second half, Dagnall would have never played SGA the whole second half.
Never.
Because once he realized that LeBron and Luka weren't coming off the floor, I'm not giving you all 2 to 3 minutes where 4 minutes, 5 minutes where my best player is on the floor or not on the floor. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And I promise you, Dagnall would have left J-Dub on the floor with that group, and they'd have made a run and put the game away. That's what would have happened. What he would not have done that. He would not. He doesn't. He's an analytical guy. He is a numbers guy. He's not a guy who has a feel. And Chris Finch looked over and was like, "Oh, they're still playing. Oh, Ant, you're in. You ain't coming out." Ant's like, "Okay, I got this."
Sure.
They're going. I'm going. So, anyway, all right, bro. Let me get out of here. I got to go beat up little kids, man.
Okay. All right.
Got to go beat up these little.
Hey, who do you got tonight, by the way?
I've got the Rockets winning, and I've got who is the other one?
Minnesota, isn't it? Minnesota Lakers tonight?
Oh, I've got the Lakers winning and the Rockets winning.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take the Timberwolves.
Now, I think the Timberwolves are going to looking out for blood. They're coming after blood. They want to end this.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're going to win tonight. I think I'm on you with Houston. I'll go Houston, Minnesota.
Well, if Houston wins, excuse me, if Minnesota wins, we'll be playing Saturday.
Oh, is it Saturday?
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah.
No. No, we won't, because we're not playing that. We're not playing the winner of that series. We're playing the winner of Denver.
Oh, Denver. You're right. My bad. You're right.
Clippers.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's going 7.
That's going to be tomorrow. That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow.
So Game 7 for that one would be Saturday.
Yeah, well, tomorrow. Well, if the Nuggets win tomorrow, then Game 1 is Saturday.
No, Game 1 will be Sunday, because tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, you're right.
Game 1 is Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, Game 1 is Saturday.
Yeah, at home. So.
Don't you want that to go 7 though?
Yeah, I want them to beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the more Chet rests, the more happy I'll be. Hey, get your body in shape, big man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not happy about that. Wait, hold on. Let me give you this since we haven't done this. Here's the shooting percentage for the playoffs, by the way, Nathan.
Okay, I can't see your screen, so you have to tell me.
That's what I'm going to tell you. SGA is averaging 27.8. Remember, he was 4th. Wiggins was number 1. J-Dub was 2. Chet was 3. SGA was 4. Now Wiggins is 4. SGA 27.8, 40% from the field, 25% from 3, 90% from the line.
That's horrible.
J-Dub, 23 points a game, 54% from the field, 28 from 3, 60 from the line.
Ooh.
And remember, he had him shoot a tee with SGA on the floor the other night. He missed that too.
I didn't know that.
He did that too.
Oh my God.
Chet, 18.5 points a game, 44% from the field, 42% from 3, 86 from the line. Wiggins, 9 points. Wiggins went from 20-something to 9, which is where he should be. 45% from the field, only 30% from 3.
Dude, none of our guys are shooting well from 3, except I guess Chet is.
Chet's at 42, Wiggins at 30, Isaiah Joe 42, Caruso 38, Dort 26, Wallace 25, J. Will 40, A.J. Mitchell, who's not playing, 25.
We haven't shot well from 3 as a team at all.
Well, but here are the numbers from the season. I got these next to each other. J-Dub shot 36% from three. He's shooting 28. SGA shot 37. He's shooting 25. Chet shot 37. He's shooting 43. Wiggins is shooting 30. He shot 38. He's shooting 30. Isaiah Joe was shooting 41. He's shooting 42. Caruso is shooting 35. He's now shooting 38. Okay. Dort was shooting 40. He's shooting 26. Kaysen was shooting 35. He's now shooting 25.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Killer, man.
K. Rich was at, he hadn't shot any.
He's at 0, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, he hadn't shot any. That's our stats.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Playoffs, absolutely crazy. All right, brother, I'm out of here. Anything you want to talk about before we get out?
No, man, I'm good. We'll see what happens tonight.
Yep, we will. So you've got the T-Wolves and the Rockets, and I've got Lakers, Rockets.
Lakers going fishing. That's what I've got. And I will call Drew Henthorne, and I will be like, hey, good show by your Lakers.
Hey, Angel says casuals be like, trade away all these valuable depth pieces for a washed-up star. Angel, you're wrong. You're wrong on that one, bro. Oh, casuals. I like how you said that. That's what these people are, casuals. That being said, hey, everybody have a good day out there. Stay warm, stay dry. Peace out. Thunder up. Talk to you later, Nathan. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.